And it looks like a gamble that's paying off. Just one defeat in 22 matches. Swindon closing in on promotion to the League One. They're also one step away from Wembley in the Football League Trophy, or otherwise known as the St Johnson Paints Trophy. And here they are for the fourth round of the FA Cup for the first time in 16 years. Let's catch up with the team news then. Leicester City kind of picks itself, really. Nigel Pearson down to the bare bones. 12 first-team players either injured, cup-tied, or on international duty. But Pearson won't mind naming an unchanged side, especially the way they played at Southampton on Monday night. Paul Gallagher, who went off in the first half injured in that match, passed a fitness test this morning. Two of this starting 11, Konchesky and Nugent, have played in FA Cup finals.
You look at this lineup, they've got Champions League experience, full international experience, FA Cup final experience, and there are Premier League players in there. You're just thinking, can they deliver? Their recent form's been good, and be looking to Beckford and Nugent to carry your hopes, and particularly good that Gallagher's back in for Foxes.
Well, Swindon are without new signing. Luke Rooney's cup-tied. Another new signing, though, Daniel Boateng, on loan from Arsenal, is on the bench. Just one change from the side that Paolo Di Canio picked for the win over Macclesfield last week. That's Alan McCormack, who returns after a two-match ban and replaces Aidan Flint at centre-half.
And that's going to be a key component for Swindon. McCormack and De Vera to shackle Beckford and Nugent, try and contain it, whilst looking most definitely at Matt Ritchie out there, number 10, to deliver on goals.
Well, there's Paul Benson, rags to riches story. Well, Leicester City were playing in the Premier League. He was playing in the Essex Intermediate League. And spotted by Dagenham boss John Still, and now playing here, actually for the second time, played here with Dagenham as well in FA Cup time a few years ago. Matt Mills, big money signing in the summer from Reading, starting to pay back that transfer fee. There alongside his Swindon counterpart. And the referee this afternoon is Darren Drysdale, who's a sergeant in the Royal Air Force. Paul Caddis then, the Scotsman, captain of Swindon, just gathering the players together for one last chat, as if they still haven't got the words of Paolo Di Canio ringing in their ears right now. But a great opportunity for a side flying high in League Two, maybe to upset the odds against a side who, well, maybe are starting to find their feet now under Nigel Pearson, who replaced Sven-Göran Eriksson early in the season. Talking of famous managers, well, we were looking forward to the antics on the touchline of Paolo Di Canio, who is not going to change his ways despite another FA ban lurking over his head. Just about set then to get underway for this FA Cup fourth round tie. Well, in rounds 1, 2 and 3, Swindon Town knocked out teams placed higher than them, and there's 39 places now between these sides in the Football League pyramid. Can Swindon upset the odds again? On the attack straight away, Paolo Di Canio says they'll come forward in numbers. They haven't come back here to just sit it out and go for a draw. He says, in fact, wouldn't want a draw given the amount of games they've got at the moment. Still in the Football League trophy with a game against Barnet to come. And they're on the attack straight away here. Here's one of the Italians in their side, De Vita, going down under the challenge of Lee Peltier. Peltier holds his rib cage.
It looks like he's struggling, doesn't he, Peltier? Just caught there by De Vita. And Di Canio delivering on his pre-match words. His team was straight up the other end and trying to get something going.
Headed on by Dans. Beckford gives it away, but he gets it back again. And it's Konchesky. Dyer, plenty of pace for Leicester down that left side with Konchesky and Dyer. But here's Alan Connell trying to play it inside towards Matt Ritchie, but Leicester have it back. Dance, Peltier. Leicester, after that brilliant win on Monday night at Southampton, who were looking to go top of the table again, weren't they, Southampton? But they were completely outclassed That came off the back of a 4-0 win here over Nottingham Forest in the third round replay. Konchesky. Dyer. In a bright start to the game. Konchesky again. Cut out by Cadiz. Dans picks it off Connell. Gallagher gives it away. Actually back there helping out his defence. Important though for Swindon that Ritchie gets forward into offensive positions. He's a player you picked out, Gary.
Yeah, it is. It's important that he links up with Connell and Benson. That interaction, those little triangles. I mean, he's a player many years ago I had in one of the Adidas development squads, so it'll be interesting to see just how his performance levels are.
When it switches to Peltier. Now Konchesky. Dyer. Looking to create the first chance of the game. Dyer wins a corner. Good sliding challenge from Paul Cadiz.
You can see Leicester just starting to turn the screw. Got a lot of good movement and quick, sharp passing.
Short corner taken as well to the far post where Peltier was waiting. It's Wellens. Shouts for handball. Seemed to me like it hit the chest. But you're right, Gary. Just starting to exert some kind of pressure here. It's a good ball by Konchesky. And the sliding challenge was important. Danger not over Mills. 1-0. Jermaine Beckford just can't scoring FA Cup goals. Hat-trick in the last round. And not even 4 minutes on the clock at the King Power Stadium. And the Championship side ahead.
If you're going to leave Mills unmarked at the far post like that with a free header, Beckford's, he's got a predatory instinct. He may not have been the big success at Everton everybody had hoped for, but he knows enough to pull off the shoulder of markers and get there. You see here, Mills is unmarked, it's a free header, and when it pops back, Johnny on the spot, no one senses his danger, just slides it in.
How cool was Mills though? He just waited, saw the pass.
You know what, you can be that cool if you're not under pressure. Simple as that. You don't get the player's head down, you don't force him to look for options. He's got his head up, he can see Beckford. Job done, well played.
13 FA Cup goals in 16 matches for Jermaine Beckford. He has a love affair with this competition. Remember his winner at Old Trafford for Leeds United. Remember he got a couple at White Hart Lane as well. In Leeds run a couple of seasons back. Couldn't score a goal this season and then grabbed 3 in one game here against Nottingham Forest. And he's off the mark already here.
That's what happens with strikers. They go on streaks. And if you're a Leicester City player, what better thing to do than score a hat-trick against Nottingham Forest? Tough test of character now for Di Canio's team, because there's a lot of football still to play in this game and they're 1-0 down.
Well, they're not used to being behind either. They've kept so many clean sheets this season. In fact, they haven't conceded at home since beginning of October.
But they won't have faced many strike forces, if any, with this kind of variety of attack, most certainly.
Not what Paolo Di Canio would have wanted. It seems like an obvious statement, but he would have said to try and quiet down the crowd, to keep it tight, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, 15-0, it's 20 minutes, half an hour, get to the interval. Clean
Ritchie
sheet.
slides it through, almost found Connell. It was an important header from Mills, and it's a corner now to Swindon, their first of the game.
Yeah, they'll have little forays. They'll get themselves into a position, Swindon. What the difference will be, where Beckford took his, it's whether Swindon can do exactly the same as and when they appear.
Rafaela Davita to take this corner for Swindon, looking for an instant riposte. And it's not dealt with, but Leicester should be able to get this away now. It's been a very open game so far. The expectation now the Championship side have taken the lead is that they will just go on from here, but it is only 1-0. Ritchie. Very skillful, sprightly player. Late challenge, and Dan's on Cadiz. Referee might want a word.
I think he might want more than a word. He'll either throw a card straight at Dan's or he's just going to manage it. See what the RFA... You who? Yes, RAF have taught him about man management. All right, he's gone for that option. Well played, sir. I think Dan's realises that this will not be tolerated in the future.
I suppose working for the Royal Air Force, he's used to seeing people flying.
Is it going to be like this all game with you?
Could be.
Oh, dear.
But it's a free kick for Swindon in a promising position. De Vita and Ritchie over the ball. It's going to be De Vita's left foot that's going to swing it inwards.
And this is what De Caniol have worked on.
Connell's at the far post. And De Vita find the delivery. It's low, but it's easily cut out. And Leicester may be able to counter.
You know, I don't think Paolo Di Canio will have worked on that particular aspect of it.
Chase is on for Dans, but Caddis was always going to get there first.
Yeah, that's wasted for me. You've got all your big guys up on the far post, and you sling it in low near. Daft. Did not happen.
Ricochet falls Connell's way. Benson trying to stay onside. De Vita. He's got support here and uses Caddis. Cross easily dealt with. Picked up by Rissa. Poor ball, and Schmeichel can pick it up.
What a great throw from Schmeichel.
Beckford. And he's waiting in the centre, Jermaine Beckford, but Dyer's delivery.
I mean, I've got to credit Kasper Schmeichel there. Just reads that game very well, sees where Dyer is, picks him out with a superb throw. And that's not that bad a cross in, you know.
Well, Nigel Pearson, a big contrast, I suppose, in the way he is to Paolo Di Canio. Contrasting figureheads, aren't they? Cool, calm.
Oh, chalk and cheese. Absolutely chalk and cheese. And it's taken time for Pearson to get this team going.
Schmeichel comes and claims. Been in good form, Kasper Schmeichel, for Leicester City, despite some of the poor displays. He's been one of their best players this season. Beckford.
For me, Leicester have got to keep this ball moving. Sharp, if you can, one-touch passing. Swindon won't have come across it too often in their own division, and it will be very difficult for them.
Challenged by De Vita. He's left Peltier down on the ground. He's been in the wars, hasn't he?
And he's caught in the same place again.
A lot of money spent by Sven-Goran Eriksson at the start of the season. High hopes for Leicester City.
Okay, they're not in the playoffs right now, but they're not that far detached. You know, 5 points off the playoffs is not a big gap to once you get on a roll, and this is a good time of the season to do it. A cup run adds to everything. You know, those empty seats, they fill up, everybody gets a buzz.
Well, it's fair to say these are two sides with loftier ambitions for than where they are right now, and maybe the FA Cup isn't #1 priority. Both desperate to get out of the league they're in, but well, David Nugent, he's come on and played at Wembley in an FA Cup final, got a winner's medal. He's been getting plenty of questions from the Leicester squads about, you know, making that trip through the FA Cup rounds.
And I tell you, you know, your form may be good, it may be mediocre, it may be poor as far as the league's concerned, but if an opportunity to go on an FA Cup run presents itself, I don't know a player that wouldn't want to take it. You're not that far away from the big day itself.
Yeah, chance to get into the last 16 here. Gallagher towards Nugent.
Got a handball from Beckford. Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
You know, there's no fingerprints on it, but there's definitely a handball.
Lovely pass into him there, wasn't it?
Superb pass. Yeah. Look at this, just beautifully bisects both defenders, and there it's there. Yeah, linesman's seen it, we saw it, and now everybody else is going to see it. Right arm, there you go. Back of the hand. Naughty boy.
Franceschi. That's a poor ball given away to De Vita.
and that's where Leicester will break down their own passing game if they're not competent and confident enough.
Benson, the player, in an offside position. Well, he wasn't too complimentary about Leicester City, Paolo Di Canio, when the draw came out. Called them a side with a lot of old players who don't have the right discipline. Maybe that was part of Nigel Pearson's team talk as the players got ready for this game.
He's either pinned it to the wall or just said, you know what, ignore him. Which is the worst thing you could do to Paolo Di Canio, aggravate him even more.
He hasn't had too much to do, really, Wes Foderingham, has he, apart from pick the ball out of the back of the net. A great start to his Swindon career. 5 clean sheets in his first 5 matches after arriving initially on loan from Crystal Palace. Given away by Benson. Not really got going. Kind of stunned by that opening goal, haven't they been, Swindon?
They've not had enough of the ball to create their own rhythm, to create their own attacks and bring in the likes of Richard, to bring in De Vita on enough occasions. They're fighting hard because Leicester are controlling so much of the ball, in particular through central midfield with Dans and Wellens.
Caddis clears, only as far as Konchesky. Put in by Ferry. Simon Ferry, one of 2 former Celtic players in Paolo Di Canio's side, the other Paul Caddis. Dye. Konchesky keeps it in play. Gallagher, nice skill, good vision as well. Dans, Peltier. Gallagher. I get the feeling here Leicester very much in control.
And you're looking at Swindon's shape, and it's a bit disparate, isn't it? They're getting pulled apart, and that's because of Leicester's passing.
Yeah, having to work hard, aren't they, Swindon? Trying to close down these Leicester players. Rissa caught by Dans.
I can see why Dans is aggravated, because he's not put his foot in there. He's gone in with his head and his shoulder. However, there's no denying Rissa's caught most of it around the chops.
That's 2 challenges now from Dans. Still no caution.
This will give us a better idea.
Yeah, it was accidental, really, wasn't it?
And he has gone for the ball. He's not gone to injure the player at all.
No fluidity from Swindon. They started brightly enough. And there you go, possession stats say it all, really.
Bearing out what I was saying, they're just strangling that midfield area, Leicester, right now, and that's why Swindon are struggling.
It's Connell. They've lost possession already. Dyer winning it back. Good challenge from Ferry. Chiboki's long ball forward. It's a good one. Connell chases, flag is up once again.
It's not an easy one to execute. That ball's travelling a long distance. Your strikers have got to keep him happy and stay onside whilst breaking off of their marker. I think for me, Swindon's attacks, when they're going to be effective, are going to come from a far closer range to Leicester's back line.
Foderingham with the pressure, just to get it out.
But it's pressure Leicester are creating. They're not sitting back and allowing Swindon to play out. They're pushing on, they're pressurising.
Good refereeing that, tried to play the advantage.
He has done, you know, to be fair. Referee Drysdale tried to allow the game to flow, and so far he's been pretty good at it. There you see him, wants him pushing bodies forward. He wants to contain that ball in that area.
Benson managed to win the header.
It was a free header as well.
Cormac finds the Italian Cibocchi, who overruns it. St Ledger. Dyer first time to Konchesky. This is Beckford. Somehow got through to him, and he wasn't afraid to shoot quickly, was he, Beckford?
I know, but I'm just thinking, you're not on, you're off balance, you're not under control, and why waste it?
Gallagher. Peltier's ball. Benson did take the ball with him. Well, it wasn't a bad ball by St Ledger, only just kept in though by Dyer. Good delivery, De Vera with the header away. Leicester still have it. Peltier. Wellens. Now Konchesky. Gallagher.
Not bad touch from the referee.
They seem to need all the help they can get. Connell. Benson's made a good run through the centre.
That ball had to come inside quickly. That extra touch just from Connell there, not allowing it to happen.
Ferry. De Vita in a little bit of space. Well defended by Peltier.
I think De Vita's got to attack Peltier there rather than cross it. A lot of spacing behind the fullback.
And by Cibocchi. High break here on the edge of the area. Not a bad effort by Simon Ferry.
Yeah, that space is there. Peltier is very much detached from his centre-half partner there, Mills, and the space is there. You see that, just drives into that area. OK, he's off target, but little increments from Swindon. They're just trying to eke their way back into this game, and it's going to take a bit. You saw those possession stats.
By Wellens. Gallagher's cross easily headed away by McCormack. Wellens again. St Ledger, who's been taken off the transfer list now by Nigel Pearson, had a bit of a row on Boxing Day after St Ledger was left out against Ipswich.
Well, the only person who has rows on Boxing Day, and most of the country have rows on Boxing Day, don't they?
That's a good point. Peltier. Dan. No Dans. Now Peltier, Gallagher. Beckford, Nugent in the centre.
Up until that point, Richard, that was great play from Swindon. Then they sit off and allow Peltier the time to cross. Got to keep that pressure on, got to keep players' heads down. And here now, there's nowhere near enough pressure, and that's the sort of ball that's coming in. Whiskers away.
Great delivery, though, by Peltier, wasn't it?
Oh, superb. However, Swindon did really well to push Leicester across, and then when it came to that crucial moment, they just forget to do the right thing. To be honest, it is hard work physically to chase and dog and chase and chase and chase again when a team is moving that ball, because the ball, as always, there's no surprise here with the physics, will move faster than the man.
Great control by Caddis. This is Matt Ritchie, now Ferry. It's important for Swindon that in this spell they haven't gone two down. Ritchie, he went a corner here. Cleverly kept in play by Konchesky.
A little bit of improvisation.
Swung straight in by Ritchie, and he's hurt. I think he was caught by Konchesky as he crossed in there.
Yeah, you heard that whack. Quite how much is there. Konchesky doesn't seem too concerned by it.
Was it more of his boot hitting into Konchesky rather than Konchesky hitting into Matt Ritchie?
Let's see which one's which. Oh, we're obscured. I think even if you kick the sole of another player's boot, trust me, does not diminish the pain.
Well, here we go again. Another chance from a set piece for Swindon to test this Leicester defence. Taken by De Vita. Flicked header. First test for Kasper Schmeichel, and he wins the battle.
It was a well-worked free kick, comes in hard and fast. I think it's Oliver Rizzo who gets the head. Brings the best out of Schmeichel. Like I said, Di Canio would well have worked on free kicks this week, knowing that he's probably unlikely to be able to outplay Leicester. But free kicks and set plays, definitely a way forward for them. Yeah, quite often in cup games.
Rizzo, one of the tallest players on the pitch as well. Certainly one to aim for, the Namibian international.
You love that, don't you? Just, you've got your little atlas out, you've got another flag in there, you're well happy.
Here's Gallagher, Scotsman. Dance. Back to Gallagher. Robbins in a corner.
So if you look at the way Leicester have attacked, a lot of it's down this right-hand side with Gallagher. They allow Lloyd Dyer to run free on occasion. But for me, I think Swindon are going to try and bring that into central areas.
Peltier's getting good delivery down this right-hand side. Shouts for handball.
Yeah, that was one of them. Wasn't too subtle, was it? I just think with Peltier pushing through as he is, Konchesky's had one or two little forages. I think now Di Canio will say, look, we cannot allow them to get outside us and get crosses in. Channel them into central areas. Let's congest it. And there's the Risa header. Did it go across the line? I don't really think so. But it is a good header. He's a good presence, as you say, Risa.
Di Canio there would have had it ready for the celebration, because either side of Schmeichel wouldn't have had much chance, but the fact it was straight at him, he managed to get that reaction save in and pull off a good save in the end.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. You know, as you said already, he's been in good form, Schmeichel. The interesting thing is for Di Canio and his Swindon team is, can they work him? Can they continue to work him?
Thumped away by McCormack. Headed away by Matt Mills. McCormack. Irishman under pressure. And that's good from Leicester. Harrying and not allowing the player on the ball to settle.
Interesting. Neil Dan's there, first man on the scene, putting that pressure on, making sure, as we said already a couple of times, that players get their heads down.
Plenty of time for McCormack to pick up the pieces there. Lovely little bit of skill from Matt Ritchie. Delivery's good as well, finds De Vita. Well, that was poor.
Deserved better, didn't it? A little bit of skill to take him past Konchesky from Matt Ritchie. Beautiful, beautiful diagonal.
Chibokli just keeps it in play. De Vita with another opportunity. Better this time, finds Connell, tees up Benson. Chance here for Swindon to maybe find an equaliser, but De Vita's shot was smothered before he could get anything behind it.
I think the best opportunity falls to Benson, but it falls on his left foot, which he obviously isn't confident with.
Encouragement, though, for Paolo Di Canio's side here.
Yeah, they've spent more time in and around Leicester's 18-yard area, which is always a positive incentive for you to continue to do that.
Here's Dyer. Running at Caddis. It's De Vera. Playing for handball from one or two in the crowd.
He's certainly got the legs of Caddis, hasn't he, Lloyd Dyer?
Got the legs of one or two others as well.
OK, well, that's the one-on-one, which is why I'm a bit concerned for Swindon if they continue to allow play to go wide and around them. They've got to channel it through the middle, condense it.
Well, here's Caddis up against Dyer the other way, though. he's got the beating of him. Not once, but twice. Lovely play from Cadiz. It's a corner.
Well, best form of defence, attack. And Cadiz has embraced that fully. Knows he's not going to go outside of Dyer, but he knows he can shift him, get him off balance, work the ball. Went for a low cross there. I thought it would maybe be better off trying to hang that up in a far post area, but the corner is there and they'll take the opportunity.
Ritchie. Cadiz. Ritchie, not a good ball in. We talk about the experience of the Leicester side. Of course, Cadiz, I mentioned, has come from Celtic, actually played a Champions League match against Barcelona.
Make it sound as if he did it on his own. No wonder his hair's gone.
Shove from Beckford on Alan McCormack. Just feel like Swindon are settled a little more into the game here.
Yeah, the early goal rocked them back, no doubt. But they've found it difficult to establish a rhythm, as I was saying, because Leicester controlled possession so well. You know, through Dans and Wellens, it's out to Gallagher, it's through to Dyer, it's into Beckford. And until they get amongst that, until they learn to keep the ball themselves, they can't establish it. And they've done that better in the last 10 or 12 minutes.
Shiboki finds Connell. Now De Vita. Ritchie far post. Connell was lurking on the edge of the area if it had found its way through to him. McCormack read the situation really well there. Ferry, definitely Swindon's best spell of the game so far.
Yeah, they put better pressure on. Just when Ritchie tucks inside, there's no width.
Well, here is Ritchie. That's a good ball. Rissa just couldn't get on the end of it. Beckford holds it up well. Wellens.
Now, this is a great opportunity.
And De Vita's pass finds Connell. One-on-one. Connell hits the crossbar. He's claiming a corner. And gets one.
Yeah,
Schmeichel must have got a touch.
And rightly so. I think Mills, the defender here, does well. Watch him, stays on his feet, doesn't allow him to come inside and pushes him out onto his left foot. You know what? You may think twice about that again. That's not a bad strike from Connell, you know.
Player who's playing conference football last season, banging them in for Grimsby. Almost finds a way through here at Leicester. Claims for another corner, given. And I was saying it's the best spell of the game so far for Swindon.
Yeah.
It really is.
And go back to that point, when these opportunities come your way, you take them. That's the difference between the great sides and the good sides.
Marissa trying to make a mark here as Ritchie swings it in. Schmeichel favourite to get it.
You're gifting, was he 6'4", Schmeichel? Easy.
And what a pass from Schmeichel.
Yeah, he does spot the thing well, doesn't he, Schmeichel? And he's got accuracy with his boot.
Look at Paolo Di Canio. He's waving his players on, urging them to keep going forward. He's enjoying what he's seeing from his players here. Ritchie gets it across. Ledger away. Cadiz. Ferry. Cadiz again. De Vita gets his head on it, and he might get a chance to get it across. The Leicester fans here getting a little apprehensive. De Vita might get another chance. Shiboki.
You know, that was a shot. That was not a cross from De Vita, that was a shot. One of my old coaches would have given me 50 press-ups for that, trust me.
Well, when you've only lost once in 22 games, you're not short of confidence, even if you do go a goal down. But it seemed like Swindon were rocked a little from that early Jermaine Beckford goal, but they've certainly grown into this FA Cup tie.
Oh, for sure, and they've worked hard. They've put a little bit more pressure into midfield. and it's come forward for them. I just think when Davida gets in that position, just play calm. Don't go for a lashed shot that's wild.
As you say, talking about trying to make it count when you are on top. Look at Watford last night against Tottenham.
See Leicester now, just control the ball. Look at the divide between midfield and back four. It's a dangerous game to play if Swindon push on and put that back four under big pressure. And the numbers are now coming in. Don't let them out, keep them contained.
Cormac heads up. Canis doesn't get there, and I thought Beckford was away again, but McCormack somehow got across.
It's good strength to McCormack, as well as good anticipation and reading the game.
Connell could get the flick on, and it's fallen nicely. Marissa couldn't quite.
Didn't have the legs. Did not have the legs to take him forward.
If Ritchie would have been in that position, you would have felt he might have got in goal.
Yeah, it might have been a different outcome, we'll never know. Yeah, he's struggling a bit, isn't he? Beckford just been caught with that McCormack challenge. Definitely got the hobble. This will show you why. Yeah, he just catches him on the back of the Achilles. McCormack's eyes are only on the ball. Yeah, all right, thumbs up, get on with it, run it off.
McCormack scoring a goal that led to one of Paolo Di Canio's bans. Scored a 93rd minute winner at Northampton. Di Canio decided to join in the celebrations right in front of the Northampton fans.
And he'll tell you that you were lucky to see him do it.
Dyer, Beckford to the back heel, not what really was required. Swindon growing in confidence. By a chairman that understands him. He's had some run-ins this season. Leon Clark no longer around at Swindon after should we call it a tete-a-tete between the player and the manager.
A difference of opinion, I believe it could be called.
Yes. But he was backed Paolo Di Canio by his chairman in that. Said he would have quit if he hadn't been backed. And they have made the journey from Wiltshire. Around 4,000 of them, and they're the ones making the noise.
Yeah, why not?
They get average gates at home of around 8,500, so for 4,000 to be here.
No, it's good. The county ground down there in Swindon. Played a few games down there when it really did. You filled the house and it was rocking, so fair enough. Fans will turn up.
Of course, they've had some high-profile managers in the past. Ozzy Ardiles, Glenn Hoddle.
Yes. Yeah, Lou Macari. Yeah, it's had its history, had its good moments.
One season in the Premier League.
It's one season more than some clubs will ever have, so...
Relegated last season from League One, but looking to bounce back immediately. But right now they're focused on trying to get back on level terms in this FA Cup tie. Konchesky. By Ferry. Benson to Ritchie. Wellens sniffed the opportunity, guts it back. Good battling though in the Swindon midfield. Here's Benson.
And see, that's where the game's just lost a little bit. You've got it, they've got it. You've got it, they've got it. No one establishes their rhythm.
Well, Leicester have got it right now with Ritchie Wellens. Downs. Usually robbed, wasn't he, by Chibaki? Connell looking for Benson.
Good ball in, you know. Great ball in. He is no more than half a yard of it, taking that in his stride. And if you notice how Leicester are stretched, that back four is really quite deep, and that midfield is very much away from it.
Still, it's the Swindon fans who are providing most of the atmosphere inside this King Power Stadium. is Gallagher. Chibokki with the sliding challenge. Italian who was playing in the lower leagues in his homeland until Di Canio arrived. Wellens, good challenge again from McCormack. He's had one or two of those in the last 10 minutes that have been important. And now Swindon look to break downs.
Oh, how good a challenge is that? Neil Towns just locked and loaded on that. He acquired his target and he was in there. Just comes straight in. Great challenge. Perfectly legal. Brilliant midfield play.
Well, it's certainly got the notice of Matt Ritchie. Got a couple of them wrong so far today, hasn't it? I think he'll be fairly satisfied, given the start. I think he'll be pretty pleased with the way his side have responded.
Yeah, character. He'll be looking for them to, in the face of adversity, like you said, they're not used to conceding goals, let alone losing games. So for them to go 1-0 down and find their way to come back into the game, fair enough. You'll be happy. Fans aren't disappointed, are they? Of course, they'd like the scoreline to be reversed, but that's fans for you.
There's still time before half-time to alter that. Ritchie, an important player for them. The clubs, as you can imagine, have been sniffing around. He was actually nominated for the player of the round in round 3 with his performance against Wigan. Connell flicks it up. Sean St Ledger heads away, back in by Rissa. St Ledger again away. Rissa this time heads it down to Alessandro Chibokki. St Ledger there again.
Slow to get out of their 18-yard area, Leicester, for me.
Neatly done by McCormack. The leader, according to Di Canio, on the pitch. Chibokki, McCormack. St Ledger, at the moment, like a magnet to the ball.
Centre-half's cross, it's fair to say, from McCormack there.
Chibokki, that's a good ball! How's that not gone in? Not once, but twice. And Matt Ritchie spurns a terrific opportunity to give Swindon an equalising goal.
I think Paul Konchesky does an awful lot to make sure Matt Ritchie doesn't get a good contact on that.
Well, I think it's come off a Leicester player on its way.
He's barreled in there, Ritchie, hasn't he, to try and get on the end of this. Beautiful, beautiful cross from De Vita.
Indeed, it is a corner. And the header is over the crossbar from Alan Connell.
Well, they're back again, aren't they, to Robbins? They're going away.
Well, 2 chances there, wasn't there, from that ball in. Fabulous ball in as well by Chibokki.
You can see it here when it does come across here. It's angled beautifully to attack. And here, yeah, I think it's Konchesky does enough just to make sure that ball goes up and over the bar. Can't say again just what that's not a cross, that's an invitation, and that, well, one of those things that goes over or in.
Credit to Sean St Ledger as well. He kept out the initial cross as well. When it would have been easy to make that an own goal.
Absolutely.
Well, there's no doubt who the team in the last 20 minutes have been on top. You know, we were talking about Leicester 65% possession since that stat. Really, it's been all Swindon.
Yeah. You got the feeling that it would take them time after that early goal to establish themselves. And there you go, look, 7-3. Just tells me that Leicester are more efficient. I know, I am cynical, sorry.
And it is goals that count. And Leicester have the one as we go into the final 5 minutes of an intriguing first half. Peltier. Connell trying to rush St Ledger, but he finds Konchesky. Wellens, Nugent, McCormack again with another good challenge. He really is growing into the game, McCormack. De Vita losing possession. Wellens, Dyer. Gallagher. Peltier. Leicester trying to assume control once more of this cup tie.
And they'll do that from possession. Keep the ball moving. Just trying to run the legs out of Swindon.
Dyer, Konchesky, hits Dyer.
Good pass, even if it wasn't intended.
Well, Gallagher intended to find Dyer. Now Konchesky, three in the centre. One of them's Nugent. That's going to be a corner.
Interesting there. Beckford then just drops off into the space.
Busying himself in the centre. St Ledger arrived, and that was a decent chance.
That should have been in. That's got to go under the bar for me. He's got a free header, so good pacey cross.
They're climbing by St Ledger. I think the referee has seen that as
a bit harsh. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, seeing as he went over.
It would have been harsh on Swindon as well had it been 2-0. McCormack, very comfortable on the ball. Gallagher. Forward by Chibocki. Konchesky makes it his. Rides, challenges. Dans. Rissa. Richie. Rissa. Now Chibocki again. Nice little layoff by Benson. Ferry. Caddis arriving, but Dyer was covering.
Just lacked that final ball on occasions. Apart from that DeVita cross, they haven't really got in behind and caused enough of a problem to Leicester's back four. Nigel Pearson won't be happy. He'll be at his players to say, hey guys, you know what, we've let our grip go here. We've got to regain it and keep it.
Maybe a chance to remind Swindon in the final seconds of this first half with Gallagher. Comfortable though for McCormack. Flicked on by Connell. Benson. Connell continues his run. Ferry. DeVita with a bit of space here. All the final chance of the half full to Swindon. Comes out to Ferry. He can hit them. Tees it up for his teammate Rissa, who can't hit them as well.
That's still in the ground, that shot. No, he was always stretching. That ball's gone far too far across him before he makes contact on it. He'd have put it away, or at least worked the goalkeeper. I think that's what he's explaining.
2 minutes of added on side. And, well, I'm sure there'll be just words of encouragement for Paolo Di Canio, but as you say, I think Nigel Pearson will be maybe just making his side a little wary of the way they've well, not progressed as the halves continue.
They've not driven home their advantage. You know, you go 1-0 up inside 5 minutes, the first 5 minutes, then your fans and you as a coach and a manager expect them to double that lead very, very shortly. Hasn't happened. You know, we'd give credit to Swindon because they've come back into this game. I think Leicester have got to come out this second period and dominate.
Ferry's taken out by Konchesky, and I think that's going to test the referee's patience. Konchesky apologises. There's shouts of off from the Swindon fans, but it's going to be a yellow card for the former Liverpool, Fulham, Charlton, West Ham player.
Yes, he's been around. He missed out Tottenham. So, rash challenge from Konchesky, and you know, the referee Drysdale, he's He's trying to manage this as best as possible, and he's even doing this with a smile on his face. Look, no histrionics, no big gestures, and he's explaining to the player, look, you know what, you left me no choice here. Oh,
it's high, wasn't it?
I don't want to see that again, because the more you see it,
that should be a red, shouldn't it?
I
mean, we've seen a lot of red cards in the last few weeks that have certainly not been as vicious or as high as that.
For a player of that experience.
And credit to the Swindon players for not really reacting as other players might have done in opposition.
Yeah, he sat down, maybe he's thinking. He probably doesn't have a monitor. I know he won't have a monitor down there, but the more you see the replay, the more you feel that that was a challenge that might well have deserved a different card.
He wasn't close to the ball, was he? I'm trying to put it into perspective.
He was closer to the bone than he was to the ball.
Yeah.
And that
Thankfully, Ferry's okay.
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah. You know, I do hope so.
Well, it provides maybe a shooting chance right at the end of this half for Swindon. But
as long as it's not Rissa. St John's ambulance must leave the ground now if it is.
It's going to be Alessandro Gibocchi who's going to take it. Not scored actually yet for Swindon. It's a long way out. He struck it well and forces Schmeichel into a decent save.
Well, we talked about working the goalkeeper. Interesting, a player who's not scored so far for his club is allowed to take a free kick from that distance. Now you know why. You know, take nothing away from Schmeichel, but he's very central.
Well, we're supposed to have 1 minute of added on time. We're now in the 4th minute of added on time.
Don't knock it.
Swindon don't want the whistle. Schmeichel punches away, and that is the half-time whistle. And all credit to the side from League Two here. After going a goal down through Jermaine Beckford after 4 minutes, they have responded absolutely magnificently. Matt Ritchie with one of, well, a number of chances they've had as the half progressed, as he dived in on Gibocchi's free kick. It could have been a red card right at the end of the half as well, but Richard Kaufman alongside Gary O'Reilly, and it's this man's goal that separates the side. Jermaine Beckford with that early strike. Should have provided the platform really for Leicester to put away their opposition from League Two, but that's not the way it's been, and credit to Swindon Town for that. Now I'm sure Nigel Pearson, Gary would have had a word to say to his players, and I'm sure Paolo Di Canio might have had a word once he saw the replay to say to the referee about Paul Konchesky.
Yeah, he might well have done, and the referee himself may have had a visit from the assessor to discuss that Konchesky challenge at the end of the half. So he may be discussing that with the Swindon player right now. At that point, I think he had a particularly good game, and Konchesky is very lucky to still be where he is out there on that pitch.
He not had too many red cards over his career. He had 1 or 2.
All of them wrong.
That's an 11-match ban, of course, with the referee involved in that one as well. Both these managers obviously had their time at Sheffield Wednesday, not at the same time. Second half ready to get underway. No changes at the break. Can Leicester City put away a resilient Swindon Town side, or can Swindon continue their first half renaissance here and ruffle a few Leicester City feathers? Because the way the first half was progressing, you would fancy a Swindon equaliser. Leicester on the front foot right at the start of the second half. Dans, Peltier, Gallagher. St Ledger. Mills, who's involved in that goal for Beckford, on by Dyer. This is nice football. Wellens kind of hesitated there, and maybe a first-time shot could have tested the goalkeeper.
It bounced up, so he was just trying to get a toe end on it, realised he was going to get clattered.
Here's the dangerous Matt Ritchie. Puts it straight to Konchesky.
You commentators can do that to a player.
Nice touch by Beckford. And Dans has got Peltier. There's some space here. The mistake allows Nugent to pick up the pieces. Gallagher, touch takes him away from goal. Goes down, has a look at the ref.
He tried a little pirouette, didn't he, Paul Gallagher? Didn't come off.
Great start to the second half. End to end. Here goes Ritchie again. Caddis. Ferry, who has recovered from that challenge from Paul Konchesky. Simon Ferry. Benson heads down. Comfortable for Matt Mills. The loose ball. Ferry. Rissa, strong challenge on him by Wellens. Almost found its way through. Ritchie. Started in the first team at Portsmouth. Look at that pass. Benson, look at Connell at the far post. If Benson could have played it earlier.
It's good work from Konchesky, keeping his head down, not allowing him to head up to cross.
Caddis, Ferry, breaks to Gallagher.
Just as well, I think the referee might have given a foul against the Swindon player for pushing.
He has blown up now. Challenged by St Ledger on Oliver Rissa. Well, he's not quite as animated as we expected so far today. Paolo Di Canio said he wasn't going to change his ways after kicking the backside of one of his players, and that's why it was Rissa into the referee.
His shirt's not bright yellow enough, is it, the referee, for Rissa to see? But anyway, it happens.
Wasn't as bad as the Konchesky challenge, was it though?
No.
Just wants to know his player's okay there, Paolo Di Canio. Referee's fine. Rissa looks as if he's okay too. Player who's been playing in the lower leagues in Germany. Bit of transfer activity for Paolo Di Canio in the days to come.
Well, he's brought a few in, hasn't he, this window, but it's whether or not he loses any, that will be the problem for him.
Well, Bournemouth have made a £500,000 bid for Matt Ritchie. That's been rejected.
Is it because of the money or because it's Bournemouth?
I think they just want to keep hold of the player. They don't want him to go.
That was good.
Here goes Jermaine Beckford, and the goalkeeper's come a long way, and he had to get it right, and West Frotheringham did. It was risky, but it worked out okay. Nugent. Gallagher's cross is a good one. Beckford has headed it in completely the wrong direction.
It's a good clearing header from Beckford.
That's neatly done. Gallagher again. This time McCormack scoops it away. De Vita. Chibocchi. Two Italians down that left-hand side for Swindon. Connell on the chase. Neil's favourite to get there. Comes back off Connell.
That scarf looks a bit tight. Made him wear that.
Mancini was the first Italian to wear the big scarf.
Somehow it doesn't quite suit an Italian. But there we are.
Ferry. Neatly taken by Ritchie. Shot almost found its way through.
High risk option from Richie there. A lot of legs in between him and the goal.
Ferry. Swindon have kind of picked up where they left off, though, haven't they?
They have, and Leicester are still trying to come to terms with it.
St Ledger was stretching there, done really well, found Dyer too. Konchesky. Well, you can hear Paul Caddis felt that should have been a Swindon throw.
Again, another difference of opinion. I think Konchesky's got to be a bit careful. If he looks at the referee the wrong way, he could be on a second yellow.
Well, he wasn't jumping in for that challenge, was he?
Wise man.
Scored in the FA Cup final, did Paul Konchesky. Also he missed a penalty in the shootout against Liverpool 6 years ago. Here comes the first change for Swindon Town. And it's going to be the Spaniard Lando Gabilondo who's going to come on. That's a good ball. Gallagher. Caddis gets it half away. And you know who scores another FA Cup goal. Jermaine Beckford doubles Leicester's lead. It's harsh on Swindon, but they're edging in Leicester now on round 5.
All you can say is Johnny on the spot. You're in the right place at the right time, and that's really what it's about for being a goal scorer. You can do nothing all game and go home with a match ball. It's as simple as that. You just got to know where they fall, play off your shoulder, the strike to your defender, and take your opportunities. They've got him behind here, Leicester. Not really cleared by Caddis. It's a rising ball for Beckford, but you know what? He dispatches this really well. It's not an easy finish. Not at all.
2 goals in 20 matches. He's now got 5 in his last 3. Is he heading for another FA Cup match ball? Just as Swindon were about to make that change. It started the second half pretty brightly, but they have made that change, by the way. Gabilondo is on. The Spanish winger coming on for De Vita. Played in Spain in the second division for the likes of Real Sociedad and Osasuna.
Canio won't expect him to come on and do anything but win the game for him. Otherwise, why change? See, now he's animated. 2-0 down. Now he's in everyone's technical area.
Nigel Pearson seeing the funny side of things, but
yeah, well, Nigel was an uncompromising central defender. I think if Paolo wanders into that technical area anymore, he might just tell him a few things.
I don't think he needs to say anything. Just give him the look.
That won't bother Paolo. Not against the Italian defenders he's faced in his time.
Well, it's a long way back now, isn't it, for Swindon? But they won't give up at it yet.
No, I mean it's a great journey for them. It's, you know, they had that victory over Wigan. They're not out of this game because there's still plenty of time to play in it. But you know, you and I were discussing during the break. There's a lot of Premier League teams facing each other in this round. And Leicester will be saying, you know what, we come through this one, we have a great opportunity of progressing in this competition.
Swindon about to make 2 more changes. Got a free kick right now there, of course. On Swindon, but it's all about scoring goals. I think that's their second shot on target, Leicester, and it's their second goal.
I'll go back to the point I made earlier. Far more efficient. The opportunities have popped up, they've been taken. you should see Leicester be quite composed in possession and just start to dominate proceedings. But we thought that in the first half, and Swindon came back into it. We'll see.
It's harsh on Fotheringham as well, isn't it? Nothing you can do about either goal, really. Vera, every touch, but he still managed to find a teammate. McCormack, Ritchie, Caddis. Taken by Ritchie. Benson in the centre. Wellens. Poor ball from Wellens. Straight to Caddis. He does really well, Paul Caddis. Decent effort too. Schmeichel going to take it low down.
He drives in there, does well to give himself that space. Just cuts inside his player, but not a lot of options ahead of him. You know, it looks to me as if Swindon have decided to push themselves forward. And Di Canio's saying, you know what? We lose 2-0, we lose 3-0. Let's go for it.
Back in by Jaboki. Poor delivery this time.
And here you see, got nothing ahead of him. Just cuts inside beautifully. But then he's got a little ball down the side or a shot, and there's not much in terms of a cutback. And decided that he's not going to be a patient man and takes a shot.
I know Beckford's got the goals, but hold on for a second here. And I was going to say that if you had to pick out Leicester's best player, you might say it's Kasper Schmeichel, though.
Without a doubt. We were thinking a similar thing. The goalkeeper that's been worked the most in this game so far is Schmeichel. Yeah, he's the one with the clean sheet. Which probably answers your question.
Getting ready to make another change. Here come Leicester now with Richie Wellens. There's a decent header from Nugent. Jaboki just got himself in between the player and the goal.
And it's a good ball hung up. I don't think Nugent really, seen top of your screen, drives in for that. No real commitment.
The third certainly would kill it, wouldn't it, for Leicester? Gallagher clips it in. Well, it was close to number 3. Sean St. Ledger. A good chance in the first half, heads this one wide as well.
Yeah, he's a definite threat at set plays, isn't he? Fights his way through to that ball through 2 Swindon players. Just can't make it count.
Ronan Murray is coming on here for Alan Connell. The Republic of Ireland under-21 international on loan from Ipswich. With Mason Connell. Is the player that's gone down.
Peltier not endearing himself to the Swindon fans, is he? But then again, he won't mind.
In by Jaboki. Oh, great header out. Ritchie. Wants to get it away again. Cadis. Ritchie.
That's a beautiful ball in, you know, from Chibocki, and I just think no one in a red shirt really attacks it to do it justice.
Here's Chibocki again.
I'd have him shoot anywhere in their half now. If he can strike a ball like that, just let him shoot.
Well, he's got it, Chibocki. Well, he's out of play.
Does he give it throw in? Yeah, he's give the throw in, not a foul. He wants it, doesn't he? He's fired up. That's brilliant. 2-0 down, and you want into the game. You decided to get on the bus and go home. You get a player like that, you deserve something out of the game. You get a team like that, you end up getting something out of the game.
Brendan Murray makes his way into the area. This is in there. He's been a threat already from these set pieces. Paolo Di Canio would give for a goal to get Swindon back into this tie.
I tell you, would change the game.
Chibocki with the delivery. It's not bad. It's Ritchie, can't get it down. And Ferry's shot's disappointing.
Ferry's, it comes to him, he's a bit stationary, a bit static, and he's got to dig it out with his shot. Do you know what? They're getting themselves back into scoring opportunities.
It's a bit of a lesson they need to give it in some respect there, Swindon. I mean, how they're 2-0 down, they must be scratching their heads at how. Flag stays down. Murray, first chance to show us what he can do. Ronan Murray. Mamma mia.
Okay, I won't tell you exactly what he's saying, but it's along the lines of, okay, in your mind when you get in that position, you've got to be cold and thoughtful and calculated and not hot-headed. Exactly what Murray didn't do is what Paolo wanted him to do. That's what it's about for young players. Lesson learned. Makes a good run in there. From now on in, he's got to assess, learn to assess his situation. Cuts inside, he's got a square ball or a ball to the far post. This doesn't fall kindly, does it, to Ritchie? Then when he pushes it back to Ferry, he's static and he's got to dig it out and he's way off target. But, as I said, they are bringing themselves back into position where they're creating opportunities, Swindon. And this man's the difference right now.
Well, getting a little bit of attention at the moment, Jermaine Beckford. He won't want to come off. Looks like he will, though, as Steve Howard gets ready to come on. Yep, Jermaine Beckford does make way. And once more, he makes his contribution in this cup competition. His love affair with the FA Cup goes on. 5 goals now in his 3 FA Cup ties this season. No hat-trick this time, though. And it's the veteran Steve Howard, 35 years young, who replaces him.
Yeah, Nigel Pearson knows that's the job done, really. It'd be difficult for Swindon to come back in. However, that Swindon defence is going to have to face a fella who has been around quite a while and is a real handful. Alan McCormack getting his retaliation in early on Steve Howard.
Quickly taken free kick, Gallagher gets it across. Excellent effort from Dans. Hit it on the run first time.
A real grubber, wasn't it? But it was arrowing towards Fotheringham's goal. Just cuts across it, doesn't it? It was always going to edge wide, albeit just.
But if the scoreline stays like this,
that means Leicester win, don't tell me.
But it might be seen as a turning point. They haven't won 3 times in a row this season. They've had more downs than ups.
And as we've already discussed, they're still only 5 points off the playoffs. And if at this stage of the season, coming in towards the end of January, you get that sort of momentum together, you become a very powerful force. And they've got the talent. They've definitely got the talent, Leicester.
We're in trouble here, though. Just a tight turn in it, Gilly Murray.
To be fair, he's tried to turn in where he should be turning the other way around.
Murray. Gabilondo. Almost caught Schmeichel's unaware there. Schmeichel's saying the ball had already gone behind when he saved it.
You know what? This is a cross, not a shot. He mishits this, you know, Gabilondo, from my mind. He's trying to use the outside of his right foot to curl that round. Hasn't quite got enough on it. Nearly caught him out, didn't he? Nearly caught the keeper out.
Never easy to follow, is it, in the footsteps of a famous father?
It's not just a famous father, is he?
Legend.
Yes. He's probably, all right, this one's up for debate, the best goalkeeper the Premier League has ever seen. Yeah.
Certainly up there, isn't it?
Send all your emails to Richard Kaufman.
Bocky's ball forward. Ledger gets it out. Headed up by De Vera.
Just a bit scrappy again, hasn't it?
Nicely brought down by Gallagher. Howard screaming for it.
Dyer.
Howard. Gabilondo away.
He had three blue shirts on the edge of the 18-yard area there. You could have thrown a blanket over all three.
Ferry. Well, 2-0 to Leicester City. Swindon deserves something for their efforts. Gabilondo's running in behind it.
Oh, Gabilondo need to stay wide there, create his own space.
Long by Gallagher. Pretty aimless.
You see, Leicester have changed their game slightly with the introduction of Steve Howard. There's a lot more direct play up to the big fella to try and hold it, bringing players around him.
Found by Dyer on Ritchie. Threatened once or twice from set pieces. Now Swindon Town. Ritchie swings it in this time. It was Benson maybe got his head on that.
It was, to my mind, Benson with the last touch. And they've got good delivery in from set play, Swindon. They've been a handful.
Dance. This is Konchesky. Neatly worked by Leicester.
You know, watching Swindon play, you can see why they're doing so successfully in League Two this season.
His handball.
And he's been lenient so far, the referee. Didn't throw a card, did he, to Peltier?
The other thing that encouraged Nigel Pearson, albeit they have been exposed a lot, is that, hold on 1 second, Caddis intercepts that. In their 2 wins previously, they didn't concede a goal, and course, they have kept a clean sheet so far here. Not for lack of Swindon's efforts, though.
Yeah, but they've been opened up too easily on a number of occasions by a League Two side. That will hurt his pride. Not his pride, but Nigel Pearson's. And everyone's waiting for him just to explode and combust in the technical area. I can't see it happening today. I think he understood the challenge ahead of his team and that it was most possibly too much for them to achieve.
Yeah, arrived wearing the shades, didn't he? Looking very cool, and that's the way he stayed.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had his chill-out tape on the way in.
Here's Ritchie.
It's a long way out, and it's always a hit and hope, isn't it? Doesn't ever clear his feet properly, does he? And he's under pressure there from Wellens.
Well, Paul Konchesky going off. Some would say he maybe should have gone off a lot earlier.
I think Nigel Pearson realises the job's done for him now. Don't lose him to a suspension. Get him out of the action.
Well, his challenge on Ferry just before half-time, certainly one of the talking points. Here it is again.
You can see that as many times as you like. It's never going to look good.
So Konchesky finally does leave the field, and coming on his place is Tom Kennedy. One or two Leicester fans thought he'd disappeared completely off the radar, but back after a loan spell. And his third appearance for the club in about a year. Ferry. Killed by Ritchie. Caddis. And sliding in. Caddis rose that challenge, and a bit too much of that today from Swindon.
Well, he was right in his own headline, wasn't he, the captain? But no denying it's not the first time he's opened up an opportunity for himself with his own endeavours. Just there you think, you're off balance, you're under pressure, just slide it off to someone else, see if they can complete the job. He's frustrated. He is, you can see that, his own body language.
Well, he knows they'll play worse this season and win.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you look through that team, there's been a couple of accomplished performances. You know, Ritchie we highlighted before the game, Caddis, McCormack for me who's been outstanding. You know, Chiboki with his delivery. I think Risa and Ferry have done particularly well. They must be very proud of themselves. As much as that's cold comfort when you're getting beaten.
Well, I think they'll take something out of it in terms of confidence, that they more than hold their own against a big spending side who play in 2 divisions higher.
Well, it's not so much the money that's been spent, it's the time at which they're meeting Leicester. Had they met Leicester maybe a month or so ago, this would have been a very different dynamic. Leicester were very down in the dumps. They weren't achieving with a new manager in. Now, they've just gone they look as if they're ready to re-explode in the Championship, and you're catching them at the wrong time. You know, the fact that you've been able to post better shot numbers and been able to keep them at bay for so long and create your own opportunities speaks volumes, and I think that's something Paolo Di Canio and his staff will take away with them and remind that team as they go forward in the season.
Heads on to Gallagher. Dyer in acres of space. Nugent, well, thought he'd score, but that's a terrific save from Fotheringham.
Now he's got either side to put this, Nugent. So what do you say? Is it a bad header or a great save?
Well, it was a good save, no doubt.
It was a good header, and I think it's a good save.
And a good signing, actually, David Nugent. Free transfer, scored his share of goals. Beckford, of course, has made the headlines in the FA Cup, but Nugent's been the main striker most of the season.
I think at the Championship level, Nugent will score goals aplenty. It's when he goes up to that higher echelon that he doesn't always deliver.
Played for Portsmouth and Burnley in the top flight with Nugent. Leicester have a corner. Just wonder whether Swindon have run out of steam now. Inside the final quarter of an hour. Gallagher takes the corner. Mills with the header.
It was Big Howard, wouldn't it? Yeah. Like I said, he's a handful. If you're not familiar with him, and at set plays like that, that's meat and drink.
For Swindon to a throw for Leicester. Canio waving his arms around.
The fourth official's got to tread carefully, hasn't he? As does Di Canio, because he's got another FA charge hanging over his head. Yeah, and Di Canio knows it, as does the fourth official, so they're both trying to manage each other's temperaments.
Ferry. Ritchie, well read by St Ledger, and then took a little shove from Ritchie. Gallagher caught, play goes on. Gabilondo. It's well defended.
I think with the exit of De Vita, the quality of crossing has just not been the same, has it, since Gabilondo entered the play.
Long throw this time. Here's Gabilondo. I think that was a shot.
Yes, it was.
Not even challenging the corner flag. Howard's little layup. Dyer. Gallagher. Nugent, Howard. Well, that's a lovely move.
Deserved a better finish. Just when Dyer does make contact, he's falling backwards. It's a high ball. It was always a difficult skill to execute properly. And missed the header. Fotheringham does very, very well. The only complaint you'd have about Nugent is it's not either side of him enough. It's quite a comfortable save in terms of it being close to his body. So don't take anything away from the goalkeeper.
They've been involved in some battles in the past. The most famous meeting actually between these two sides was playoff final for the Premier League back in 1993 when Swindon went 3-0 up. Leicester made it 3-0 and then a controversial penalty saw Swindon promoted.
Now, where have I had controversial penalty before? About every week, isn't it?
That was 19 years ago now. Mills. Wellens. Get a second bite at it. Inside the final 10 minutes. That second goal from Jermaine Beckford at the start of the second half. Can't say it killed the Swindon spirit, but just gave them too much to do.
Yeah, you got the feeling that they just really did pop that game out of reach.
And a chance for a youngster to come on now for Leicester. David Nugent makes way for Tom Hopper, 17-year-old, captain of the youth team. Spotted last year at Boston. He's just signed a pro contract, and here he is making his debut.
Oh, well, good luck to him. Good opportunity for Nigel Pearsall to introduce him into the action.
And Swindon making a change as well. Louis Thompson, who's come on for Paolo Di Canio. Swindon on the attack. This is Benson. Already gone out. Oh, corner's been given. No, goal kick's been given. Two players making their debut. Thompson as well, coming on for Simon Ferry, another 17-year-old. So both managers giving teenagers a run out here.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity, good time of the game. Di Canio realises that a young player can gain an experience, same as Nigel Pearson. The outcome of the game won't be changed dramatically.
Caddis. Leaves it. Ritchie. Gabilondo. Here is Thompson. Caddis. Downs turns into trouble. Ritchie. Swindon goal would make it interesting, but they don't get a free kick. In fact, the free kick goes the other way with Rissa, the player who's been intended.
I think Ritchie was looking for that from Neil Downs. It didn't happen.
Time running out now for Swindon Town. A super run here against opposition higher than them. Huddersfield beaten in round 1, Colchester in round 2, Premier League Wigan in round 3. And they had their chances here against Championship side Leicester. Wellens is taken up.
Yeah, you can't say Swindon have been outplayed. You know, they've been dispatched by clinical finishing from Jermaine Beckford rather than played off the pitch. Not at all.
Wellens hobbles on. Downs. Kennedy. It's a good ball. Hopper.
Kennedy does well for me there, and the pass from Gallagher is just sublime. Splits that Swindon defence. And unlucky. And Tom Hopper, unlucky. It's a good run.
They've produced some good young strikers over the years, haven't they? Certain Gary Lineker springs to mind.
Yeah, one or two.
The Swindon fans, they may be 2 down, there may be just about 5 minutes to go, but they're cheering their team right on to the end here.
That's what the cup's about. It's a day out for them, and they're enjoying it. Win, lose, or draw.
Gabilondo. Back to his goalkeeper. Thompson, well, 17 years of age, the picturesqueness of youth maybe taking hold of him here 40 yards out.
I can honestly say, during his career, that will be the only moment he'll be forgiven. On a game like this, when he's just come on, he can have your shot, but don't do it again. And the fans are singing because they don't feel they've been disgraced by their own team. They feel proud of their team, the display that they've given in. So, you know, when fans do that, it's all a positive cycle all the way through.
Ritchie, caught by Downs. Now Dyer. Gallagher. Well, the Swindon chairman, I'm sure will feel much to be proud of as well. He raised eyebrows, weren't they, when he appointed Paolo Di Canio?
Yeah, yours truly as well, because you're never quite sure, but so far it's been a good journey for them, hasn't it?
There's certainly been a buzz in the Leicester Town this season.
You're talking about Swindon Town Football Club again in a positive way. I think that's great.
In a couple of weeks' time, or a week and a half, they've got a big match coming up against Barnet in the Football League Trophy, which could see them heading down Wembley way for the first time since that playoff final I was talking about in '93. Howard's in the centre here. Gallagher's shot straight at the goalkeeper.
A bit of football. Fotheringham just makes it look easy.
Thompson. McCorn. Well, game over now. Leicester with that 2-goal cushion, just able to knock it around. Can look forward to tomorrow's draw. One of the Premier League teams here down at King Power Stadium. Of course, last season, Premier League opposition here. Trip to Manchester City. Wellings. Gallagher. Space here for Dyer. All gone out according to the referee. I'm not too sure it had.
Yeah, can't imagine it's offside. No, he's indicating a throw-in. Yeah. Just a throw. That's what I'm thinking.
Saving it for another day. Much to be proud of that.
You should only use it if you need to.
That's the throw again. To 3 minutes of injury time. No need for any more heroics really, is there, for Leicester now? Wellings, Dance, cut out by Gabilondo. Rissa forward to Benson, here's Rissa again. Chibocki slings it forward, Benson wins the header. Well, it would probably just be a consolation now. But
You wouldn't begrudge them though, would you?
no.
A goal, Swindon.
penalty just caught there.
He's off the pitch, so play on.
Well, Nigel Pearson, as you say, he'll be a little worried about the chances aside from League Two maybe being able to create, but at the end of the day, his team will be in the draw for the 5th round for the first time in 7 years. His second spell as manager here at Leicester City. Third straight win. It stands a 3rd clean sheet in a row. Been a difficult season for Leicester, but it could end with some glory. Last opportunity maybe for these sides to create. The goals apart, Leicester really haven't created that much, but 2 well-taken goals from Jermaine Beckford. Here's Dyer. Dance. And that should be that.
Yes, not the best way to finish a game, but it should be that.
A valiant effort from Swindon Town, but it's Nigel Pearson's side who overcome Paolo Di Cario's team. Goals at the start of either half by Jermaine Beckford, who clinched it against Nottingham Forest and did so again here against Swindon Town, but in between, Swindon had a number of chances, and the referee, Darren Drysdale, maybe producing the wrong colour card by